What's good, people? Expect the worst if you don't respect the best. Top tier podcast, man. I'm a ledge. Let's get right into this shit. I'm not even gonna waste time. Just gonna start off with talking about this Verb situation with RBE. Apparently, he agreed to do a battle versus Iron Solomon before he agreed to do this legendary, what looks to be a legendary matchup between he and Loaded Lux. I'm guessing that, this battle materialized much later than the agreed battle with Iron Solomon did. And, it's the bigger bag. And I don't think you can be mad at that. Him and ARP had some words. Look, man, it boils down to this. Nobody is loyal to each other in this shit, all right? Nobody. And I understand ARP's. Look, ARP has built his league a little bit differently than Smack. Smack is more business oriented. It's more focused on brands and marketing. I think RBE, and this is good because you couldn't come up and try to make a league similar to Smack's by using like some of the same tactics that made Smack successful. You had to find your own niche, and I think he found that in being more of a family tight-knit atmosphere. But with that, you got to understand that every artist that you pay for to come on your platform isn't going to be like a family binding, one for the cause type of artist. He's hired as these guys are hired as paid assassins, man. And Verb has been on record since the moment he stepped foot, into our lives. He's paid Verb, man. Like, you pay wherever he goes, you give him a bag, he's gonna show up. To his detriment at times too, because he's taking some guys that I just didn't understand him taking, but maybe that bag was nice. Maybe he had some shorties in that area that he thought was fly. Maybe he was doing a favor for that. Who knows? But that's a whole nother topic. I think it was a bad mix up. But hey, Verb said he gave him his bread back. He gave him the deposit back. Shouldn't be tripping. I think as a professional league owner, you got to do better than that. You got to do better than that, ARP. You can't be on Twitter, being ready and willing to fight dudes. Bringing up, name dropping Drake was the one. You name dropping, fam. You name dropping Drake. That's crazy. That's a little bit much. And it's so unlike him too, because if you speak to most battlers, as far as league owners concerned, I'm not saying he's the most legendary, he's the most prestigious one, but a lot of people seem more like he's like the people's champ as far as league owners. Like he galvanizes people and people really rock with him, and everybody talks about how he's a stand-up individual. This doesn't look very stand-up-ish, and even Disaster came to Verb's defense and said, yeah, ARP did some fuck shit with me and Math. Apparently Disaster and Math was supposed to battle on RBE. And that's not even a battle I want to see. Do we really need to see Math and Disaster part 2? Do we even need a part 1? Because I'm not fucking with it. But yeah, man, and that's just the name of the game in battle rap, man. There's no friends in this shit, really. There really isn't. So I just wanted to touch on that and just say, from now on, I think maybe RBE and ARP in particular has to take a different approach to paying these battlers. Not paying these battlers, but I will say just as far as signing deals and, getting matchups to put on their card. Because I don't know. I think if you were to do that with, let's say, Iron Solomon, if Iron Solomon had Lux, if Iron Solomon had Lux coming up, I think Iron Solomon would probably still battle whoever he had to battle before and still take the Lux battle. Verb isn't built like that. And that's not saying he isn't skilled enough, but I think Certain styles tend to determine whether or not they're going to take certain battles or not. He's a very diligent, strategic writer. He crafts shit specifically for his opponent. One thing you can say about Verb is never been a random bar guy. Like, he ain't just spitting out random bars and punches. Like, his shit always be handcrafted. I always said Verb is probably one of the best at doing his homework on his opponent. It's like film study in all sports. Like when you film study in basketball before a game, you know, you breaking down your opponent. He's on that level, and he's crafting his shit particularly for that opponent. So to try to do that and be really entertaining and engaging and having haymakers against Solomon and then turn around and flip and try to go against Slugs, that's too much for anybody's plate. So I respect that. Now, maybe if you got like a puncher, maybe like a Danny who can just punch people lights out, like a Rum, maybe they can, you know, they'll probably maybe try to pull off the 2 for 2 being against Iron Solomon and Lux. But I just think because Verb is one of those different type of writers that you have to respect the craftsmanship and the time it takes to get into these type of battles and getting these type of, you know, looks, man. You got to respect it. So I don't really feel that Verb owes him an apology. I don't feel like ARP owes Verb an apology. I do feel like ARP should apologize to the fans for one dropping that trailer, which was bogus and wild. I hope people didn't. I don't know how fast, because I've never ran and purchased an event soon as a trailer dropped or anything. So I hope that there wasn't any fans who hurry up and just went and go purchase that shit. That'd be some foul ass shit to do. But, you know, you never know. You never know what's going on. So I do think ARP he does owe the fans an apology, you know, because timing is everything. It was bad timing. And that might be the gift and the curse in this RBE chasing to be the #1 league. Yo, want to talk to you real fast about Anchor, all right? Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast. That's pretty dope, right? All you have to do is go to anchor.fm/start. Once again, that is anchor.fm/start. You'll get acclimated. Look, man, on here, there's podcasts for literally everything: food, movies, entertainment, health, fitness, you name it, they got it. So why don't you come on in, grab a seat, and start podcasting soon. And what I mean by when I say gift and the curse, I mean you will start doing things because you're chasing another league. You'll start doing things out of your character. Like ARP dropping trailers for battles that he knows damn well isn't going down. Like previously when he came out with his pay-per-view, he was trying to say, hey, yo, my shit is going to be better than Summer Madness. Like, yo, let's have competition. Like, I think the rise of RBE came because to us, to the general public, it didn't seem like he was focused on what other motherfuckers was doing. Like, you get what I'm saying? I felt like he was very much just into his brand, into their content, into their artists, getting a lot of artists who were on other platforms dying. Like, and I don't mean dying, getting killed in battles, but like just on the lower end. Like JC prominence to me started on RBE. When he started cooking on there and he came back to the URL, he started getting that shine back. But I think RBE is really great at revamping careers or just putting some extra juice on careers that were fleeting and on people who weren't just getting noticed as much as they should. Like particularly a lot of the writers block artists too. And so I thought when he was focused on that, he was more so in this element. Like this shit here, this isn't you, fam. Like I'm a little shocked at this, that you coming out like this. But hey, sometimes competition brings that out of people. It brings out, sides of people you haven't seen yet. But hopefully he can just get back to business and talking about RBE and all the things they got, because they still got dope matchups. Like, I'm still looking forward to seeing the return of Young Ill. Does Young Ill show up and still do business with RBE after the situation with him and Verb? Because him and Verb are mad close, grew up together, been in this battle shit together. The whole Midwest movement was started like basically on their shoulders. Does he continue to battle? I think he does. I think they patch things up. And I think him and Verb patch things up. Look, man, it's all business at the end of the day. You want to keep those lines of communication open, because you never know when the opportunity arises, and it can be a good look for both. So, look, man, that shit don't mean anything. I just wish that a situation like that was kind of more of a misunderstanding or whatever, I wish that wasn't taken to Twitter. I know it was entertaining for us. It gave us content. But at the same time, man, we don't need that shit. As far as the Loaded Lux and Verb battle goes, here's what I'm going to say. I am disappointed at the likes of Norbs, who has a podcast, saying shit like, oh, if Verb win this battle, he's top 3. I'm hearing reports that the source is like trying to make this a make or break battle for Verb. I think that's some weak shit. First of all, I think the source should just stay out of this. They're not a part of this culture, in my opinion. Like, they leech on when it's like big. Like, they just here for the mainstream shit. Like, they're not here at every event. Like, you don't see them talking about Band or Born Legacy or RB Rare Breeds that doesn't have a Mook involved, or a King of the Dot. Like, they, what I'm saying, Gully versus Gannick, they're not reporting on that type of shit. So stay out of it. Just because you see the name Loaded Lux, now you want to come and like voice your opinion. Like, I think that shit is corny. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, back to Norbs, and it just, like, we keep moving the goalposts for things that Verb has to do before we acknowledge that he is the GOAT. He's not my favorite battler. I don't have favorite battlers. I feel like battlers are too inconsistent for you to have one favorite battler. Like, I haven't seen a battler bring it for more than like 4 battles in a row for a battler of like fire. It'll be a miracle. Like, I've seen a battler get busy for 2 straight battles, maybe 3. But like, it's just way too inconsistent, man. So I don't have a favorite battler, but I have to go off your resume and the quality. And that's another thing we need to talk about. It's not about just how many times you put your gloves on the box with niggas. It's also about who were you boxing against? What were the circumstances? Like, Verb done boxed his whole life against giants of the game, and he's done it on the road and won. You get what I'm saying? He's done it on the road for the most part and won. The only giant that he beat at the crib was 2, Arsenal and Hollow. But you look at Mook, he beat him damn near in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Like, he beat him in his own backyard. Like, I think you got to give him credit for that. I think you got to give him credit for going to Cali and going against Disaster. You got to. First time out on the URL stage going against Mav. Well, like, you know what I'm saying? I think shit like that has to be rewarded. You got to crown a nigga for that. He doesn't have to do anything extra. I like how at one point, like, everybody's called Murder Mook the logo. He's the logo. People don't compare him to Jordan of the sport. They called him the God. Like, if you did a poll of the greatest of all time, he'd rank somewhere in the top 3 in most polls. Verb pretty much beat him clearly. That's been the consensus. Yet and still, that wasn't enough for motherfuckers like Norb to be like, nah, he's on the Mount Rushmore. Like, no, he has to beat Lux now. I think that shit is whack. I think it's a lot of, I didn't like to subscribe to the theory East Coast bias, but now I can kind of see that. Because if, let's say K-Shine went against all the people that Verb went against, and he had a high win percentage against the same people that Verb went against. Let's say K-Shine beat Mook, Arsenal, Hollow, And who else Verb beat? Because I feel like he beat one more elite guy. I mean, we could throw Diz in there. Diz is kind of elite in his own way. He does have, like, some elements to his game. Let's say, and Verb beat Surf too. Let's say K-Shine resume was Verb's. I think we'll be having him in the discussion for Mount Rushmore. I do think is a little bit of bias there. And I think you gotta be full of shit to not have Verb as one of the GOATs already. I think that's a little bit disingenuous. I think that's so fucked up because he's going against guys that people claim are the GOAT that hasn't put half the work he's put in. You get what I'm saying? So we have to change the narrative of that. I do think biasness and politics are involved in a lot of this shit. As far as the battle's concerned between Verb and Lux, look, Lux has told us he's not going to be preaching. He's not going to be on some conscious shit. He's going to be a little more direct, a little more, militant in this fucking battle. I doubt it. I think he's trying to throw Verb a curveball just so he can prepare and write for something different. We'll see though. As of now, I have Verb 2-1 because for the simple fact that I do think Lux is going to be in uncharted territory. Look, man, the nigga ain't battled outside of New York, New Jersey ever on cam. Like even his 106 in Park, New York. That's in New York. The Smack shits, DVDs in New York shit. The only battle I can think of was Arsenal, which was in Jersey. Same shit. Like even when back in the day when like Rex and all them was going to Philly, he wasn't out there battling out in Philly. So like I think going to Houston is going to make a big difference because that crowd isn't, and I think the luster is gone too. Like the whole anticipating Lux, just his aura. I think that shit is going to be gone this time around. I think it was there the first couple of times he came because we haven't seen him in a while. But I think once the luster is gone, the aura is gone, and also the most important thing in this battle is where will it be placed as far as in the order of the battles. That might take a toll because if it's last or second to last, I think Lux will get booed. I think he might get booed because the longer you make an audience wait for the main event and he's going to come like trying to weave shit together like for about 8 to 10 bars before he gets to like his punches, I think he is going to lose that crowd very fast. And I don't think Smack got it in him to do what RBE did with Mook versus Verb. They pushed that battle up. I think it was like the second or third battle of the night. I don't think Smack has it in him to do that. I think he's very set in having that battle either second to last or last for the build up. So with that being said, I think Verb can pull this one out. I think showing the level of focus that he's showing by not taking the Iron Solomon battle is a positive. So if you got money on Verb, because I know motherfuckers was panicking when they seen that trailer drop. When I seen that, I was like, ooh, he's going to get washed by Lux. Not washed, but I thought it was looking bad. It was looking bad for my man, so I ain't even going to lie. It was looking bad for him. I thought when that trailer dropped, I said, oh, he's not taking this serious as I thought. But no, it was a false alarm. So I think he's 100% focused, and I think he's going to write his ass. Look, man, anytime he's battled one of the killers that he wanted to battle, he's showing up. That I know when he battled Pat Stay before people found out that he was battling Mook, a lot of people like you had, Champion, shout out to Champion, shout out to Vada Fly, I'm not one of those. I'm not going to be in like any blogging wars with these niggas and all that. I'll just do podcasts I'll talk about bloggers in a separate episode because I think they're very important to the culture, despite what others think and say. But that's a separate topic. But I remember those guys being worried because of the material that Pat Stay, that Verb had against Pat Stay, and rightfully so. I mean, you only can judge somebody off their last work, right? But I think you got to go with. I think every case is different. Every individual case is different because you have to look at the pattern for Verb. He's never been a guy up for battles that he didn't want to take and was just like amazing. Like, look at the battles even against guys that maybe wasn't in the class of a Lux or a Mook, but he just felt the way about them. Like, he came prepared versus New Jersey Twerk. He came prepared against B-Dot. Those were some really good battles. Debatables either way. I actually got Verb winning both of those battles. But he's came prepared. Lux has come prepared too. Like, I think the perception on that Lux and Arsenal battle is really kind of self-damaging. Like, I feel like Lux makes it look worse than... Because I had him winning that battle, but you listen to Lux talk about, you know, how underprepared he was. It makes you, like, second guess, like, damn, is this nigga, like, low-key saying he lost? He sounded like he felt like he lost that battle. So it's kind of making you second guess. Like, if I'm saying I think he won and he's like kind of underplaying it, it makes you feel away. But I still got him winning. Like, he might not feel like he won, but I just like his material better. You know, Arsenal was a better Arsenal than we've seen in recent battles. But, you know, it's something about Arsenal material that kind of like I'm kind of meh on. But yeah, I just feel like Lux got that. And he can be way more dangerous in this battle because there's so much history he can talk about. We know what he can get into, how he quote unquote discovered, you know, the St. Louis Cats and how he played a part in Verb's career to some extent. I just don't think that'll be enough to carry him. You know, I think if you looked at his previous opponents, like you look at clips, he tackled a subject and got deep on some shit that none of us really knew about in really deep uncharted territories there. When he went against Hollow, you know, talked about the addiction, the lean and all that shit. Like, he had really good subject matters to tackle. I don't know what subject he can tackle Verb on that already hasn't been tackled ad nauseum. Like, it's only so long we're gonna hear about his mom being a dyke, allegedly, or, you know, him like taking all these obscure battles. Like, I really don't know. But maybe that'll be the greatness of Lux being shown, right? Like, if he tackled something like, yo, I would have never thought that he would go there with that. You know, Lux is in that little elite class of battlers that can pull some shit out that you just wasn't expecting. So I don't see it. So that therefore I'm going with Verb 2-1. I'm always going to go with the guy who wanted the battle more than the person who took the battle. Like, John wanted that Hollow battle more, that Hollow the Don battle more than Hollow wanted it, and John won. I feel like DNA wanted that battle versus Mickey Fax more than Mickey really wanted to participate in that, but he did, you know, have a great showing. But DNA got that. I always lean towards the guy who wanted the battle because it means a little bit more to them. It means a little bit more to them. Just like Hollow against Arsenal. Like, I remember Arsenal being on Instagram and all this shit. Like stop talking to me about the battle. Like, I ain't talking about he came in with like it's a whatever attitude, and it showed. And Hollow won that, and he wasn't even the best Hollow we've seen. So I'm gonna go with Verb 2-1. And yeah, man, just wanted to kick it with y'all real quick. A little longer than I thought, but that's how I am when I talk about this battle shit. And with that being said, you already know what it is. Keep it battle rap. Love.